To most people, this looks like just a lump of weird-looking ugly clay. But to me, this represents something very, very special. This block of clay is over 8 years old. It's made up of 3 different types of clay, of me collecting the remnants of bits and pieces and leftovers of clay bits when I was doing pottery 8 years ago. And I've carried this with me for the last 8 years, from place to place, city to city, in hopes that I would one day have my own pottery studio. And now this ball of clay, it took me weeks and weeks and weeks to reconstitute it into something malleable. And now I'm going to create some really magical pieces for my very first ceramic art installation. But first, I'm going to make a special mug for my spouse and myself to celebrate how symbolic this weird lump of clay is for me and for this pottery studio. And to be able to sit and make this video for you is very emotional, actually, for me to watch this become something that, for a long time I thought would never be anything ever again. Because this lump of clay, I don't want to lose the definition between the blend of clays. It's not very thoroughly wedged, and so it's a little bit lumpy. But on the bright side is there's actually a trick to being able to recenter something that's a little bit wobbly. And as you're pulling, you want to compress and expand and contract, and that'll actually get your clay body to center again, even though the vessel is open. Neat. So as you can see, this final 2 pulls, the mug is centered again. It's got a little wobble in it, but compared to what it was, a few minutes ago, it's pretty magical. And like I said, there's some bubbles in it, and there's some lumpiness in this clay, but when I bring you in for a closer look when it's done, you'll be able to see the marbling that happens with this clay body, and I don't want to lose that. So now I'm just tidying up the mug and cleaning up all the slip. Slip is just that slippery, creamy, watered down clay. When you dry it off from the inside and outside, it'll help make sure that the form or the mug can dry evenly and reduce the chance of cracking. So I'm going to clean the base of it. This also helps detach the mug from the wheel much easier when everything's all nice and dry. It's very therapeutic. It's one of my favorite parts. Now I'm going to use a metal rib, which is just a thin metal that's malleable and bendable, to scrape off any excess slip, and you can start to see the marbling come through the clay, especially at the base, which is really exciting. So once again, this allows for more consistent drying, but also makes it easier for me to remove the cup off of the wheel. I always make sure the wheel is completely dry before I take off that excess clay from the bottom. So I just take a pin tool and go at a 45-degree angle, cut it all the way around, and then lay the pin tool flat and cut it all the way around. And then I remove about 1 inch of clay, which is kind of all that excess at the base, and then I use a wire cutter to cut through it. I'm just throwing off the hump of some of my pieces for my new ceramic installation, and just making some mugs just because the kids are in bed and I've got some time to throw, so try to get as much done as I can in the small amount of time that I have. But this is kind of my happy quiet time, so really excited for that. Oh, and I had just enough to make 1 extra bowl. And don't forget, the cleaning is always the most important part. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.